Once a year, after all of the fun and excitement of the holidays, comes the ultimate reality check. No, not the fact that your New Year's resolution has gone out the window, something far worse. Tax time. Well, this year I wanted to look at the best ways of making it through this terribly trying period. A lot of people are still under the impression that the best way to do your taxes is gather up all of your paperwork, lock yourself in a room, and plow through it in paper form. Come up for air once it's done, then submit your forms and hope for the best. So this year we thought we'd compare. What if we were to take two different yet typical returns, do each the old-fashioned paper way, and then do it the newfangled web way, and then see where the chips lay? So we recruited Dee and Dan to be our tax guinea pigs. Dee, how was it filling it out in paper?
I didn't like it at all.
What was the matter with it?
Well, you know what? It was very overwhelming for me. I've never actually done my tax return by myself. So to sit down and go through this, there was just so much that I needed to kind of weed through to find out what pertained to me, and I found that very frustrating.
Yeah, did you make it all the way through?
Pretty much. No,
pretty much.
Not
You
really.
It's
no,
like your homework. I wanted to do it, but I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. I got to a point when I was just like, you know what, I wouldn't do this, so I kind of gave up. Yeah.
Okay, Dan?
I've never done my own return either, and it wasn't difficult, but it was tedious. You know, there's a lot to read, and it felt like work.
Okay, so then we switch over, and now we try it on the net. And what was the biggest difference when you used QuickTax Web?
It was easy. It was so easy. It just prompted you where to go, what to do, eliminated all the information that didn't pertain to me, and I just, you know, I felt like I was always going in the right direction.
Okay, so and making it through it wouldn't have been as big a chore?
No, not at all.
Okay, Dan?
It really streamlines the process. You answer a couple of questions up front, and it eliminates everything that's not relevant to your return. So you end up having to read a lot less than you would if you were just doing the paper forms.
Okay, now if you do it on the web, though, there's only a certain number of fields that you have to fill in. And do you feel like you might be missing something in that case? Were you concerned if you reach the end of the return that, oh, gee, maybe I did miss something doing it online?
I didn't feel that way because I just felt like, oh, well, past that point, here I go.
Well, even if you do have that fear, there's a lot of built-in help. So you can ask, you can get additional information about particular aspects of your return. If you think you've missed something, you can get a little more background information and decide whether or not you need to make a different choice.
Now, did you use the online help? Because I know Intuit concentrated an awful lot on building a really robust help system. Dan, so did you try it out?
The help was great. I've got a couple of tax books, and I normally would have had to pull them out, but I found that the help that was built in was more than adequate and jargon-free.
Jargon, okay. And Dee?
I felt the same way. Yeah, I didn't have to refer back to a text and look for line 250 to refer to line 147. It was all right there, right pertaining to what I was looking at on the screen.
It's more user-friendly than the book that tells you that you go through the list and that's a tough one, is the tax guide, I think they call it, and then with all the tables involved. Okay, so our duty is done, filling out all of the information, paying the government, but at the end of the day, what we want to do is also maybe pay a little less. Did you play with the RRSP calculator, Dee?
I definitely played with the RRSP calculator, and I realized something that probably should have realized a long time ago, that my father was saying about contributing a little bit of money here and there really helps you out in the long run.
So you haven't contributed before?
No, I haven't contributed.
What's going to happen now?
I'm going to be contributing a hell of a lot, to tell you the truth.
So if nothing else, QuickTax Web has taught you that Dad's right.
Yeah, father knows best, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, Dan, did you play with the
I did let you play what if, so you know exactly what the impact of any size contribution is going to have to your deduction. It's pretty neat.
Okay, and so did you come up with a resolution as well as a result?
Yeah, contribute more. I already contribute, but I think the key is contribute more.
More, as much as you can till it hurts, and
to your
maximum,
yeah, to your maximum if you can. And there's a one-button thing that tells you what your maximum contribution is.
So you see the results right away. Final question: how much time did it take in paper versus online? Dee?
Oh, I'm not the best person to ask because I didn't get really through it. But I mean, I was really surprised with the online because it took me half as much time as I thought. I was done with 20, 25 minutes.
Dan?
It only took me 20 minutes online too, and it took twice as long doing it by paper.
Okay. We need to thank both Dee and Dan for doing the unthinkable. They did their taxes twice. Once is enough for all of us. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to take a look at some of the features in QuickTax Web that Dee and Dan identified. All 26 episodes of Dotto Tech Season 3 are available to borrow at participating libraries. Check our website for details.